Did you know the average American enjoys about 63 donuts each year? And Americans overall consume 10 billion every year. Join us as we explore the process. From mixing to frying, we cover it all. The donut making process. Getting ready with the ingredients. The first step of the production process is to have all the ingredients ready. One of the most important things that is needed here is the flour, which gives the dough its structure. Next, some granulated sugar. This adds sweetness to the dough and helps give it that perfect texture and brown color when it's cooked up. Now some eggs into the mix, to add richness to the donut, and to help it hold its shape while it bakes or fries. Last but definitely not least, yeast. This is what makes the dough rise and gives it that fluffy, airy texture we all love. Without yeast, the donut would be just flat. Every ingredient should be measured with the utmost precision to maintain uniformity in all mass productions, which is what leads to consistency. The yeast must be prepared with warm water or milk. However, the mixture needs to have the right temperature so that it doesn't ice or kill the yeast. The quality at this stage determines if it will rise well and have the desired flavor when baked. Mixing. There are mixers available, from large commercial purposes down to home models. The idea is to mix the measured and prepared ingredients with the right combination, which brings everything together. Getting the right balance in mixing is the key here. Without it, the dough won't come together properly, which is responsible for the donut being heavy and without the usual chewiness. Overmixing, on the other hand, can make them hard like bread. Large-scale industrial mixers have been designed to deal with huge quantities of dough consistently, so that every batch meets uniform quality standards and attains a texture good for further processing. Proofing. Once the mixing is done, then the dough is allowed to bulk ferment. This is the most vital phase of yeast fermentation, taking it upwards. The reaction takes place when sugar in the dough allows the yeast to ferment the yeast effervescent gas at the same time. This is what allows the donut to expand and helps the donut get a light and airy texture, but also improves the flavor. The careful control of temperature and humidity conditions in a proofing environment with precise adjustments made to them helps to ensure increased activity of the yeast. Proofing times vary, in general, from 1 to several hours, depending on the specific recipe and environmental conditions. Nonetheless, proofing plays a major part in determining the texture and overall quality of the donut. Shaping. After the dough has risen and doubled in size, it's time to shape it. The dough is then rolled to an even thickness, and shapes are cut using a donut cutter that slices both the outside and the inside circles neatly and without tearing. The method, therefore, not only gives the donuts their characteristic form, but also increases the surface area of the dough exposed to the hot oil during frying, hence cooking the donuts evenly. Any leftover dough scraps can be combined and rolled out to use up the remaining dough. After shaping, the donuts are left to proof once more for a short period in a process called the second proof. During this time, the donuts rise slightly, which makes their texture even more fluffy. Frying. This is the most critical stage in the process of how donuts are made, as the already shaped and proofed dough is processed into enjoyable donuts. The donuts are carefully added to hot oil, which is maintained at a temperature that is normally between 350 degrees Fahrenheit and 375 degrees. The critical thing to maintain here is the oil temperature. If it's too hot, the donuts will cook too quickly on the outside but not inside, and they will also soak up too much oil, making them greasy. The donuts are fried until each side of the donut is golden brown, which generally takes about a minute per side. It just has to be flipped once to cook it evenly on both sides. At this point, it's crucial to keep a close eye on things to make sure every single donut hits that perfect level of crispiness on the outside while staying wonderfully soft and tender on the inside. Cooling and glazing. After frying, the donuts are placed on the cooling rack immediately to get rid of the extra oil and allow them to cool down to a safe temperature. This is an extremely important stage of cooling, which then sets up the donuts to be glazed and decorated in the following process. For the covering type, it varies with a variety. Some are fully dipped in glaze while others are entirely poured over the donut until it attains a uniform layer. Top any nuts, sprinkles, or chocolate chips that you like while the glaze is still tacky. The decoration makes it look not only aesthetically pleasing, but also adds greatly to the taste and texture of the donuts, making them irresistible to the consumer. Quality control and packaging. After glazing, the donuts undergo strict quality control processes to ensure that the product is made at a bakery or manufacturing plant in the best quality possible. Among such steps is the consideration of consistency in weight, size, and color to ensure the standards of uniformity of the product are not compromised. After successful quality tests, donuts are sorted for packaging. The packaging varies based on the distribution channel used, with retail packs for supermarkets having small quantities, while large boxes might be used for display purposes through the local bakery and bulk packing for large orders for events or commercial needs. This critical phase assures the safety and hygiene of the donuts for eating, and it assures the protection of freshness and flavor retention. It would be worth thinking about the process of donut making itself, the continuous charm of this detailed and insatiable process, and the modern methods that have been used to point out how environmentally sustainable they are. Most factories, however, have by now gone into efforts to minimize waste and optimize energy, with a rise in demand for such practices from environmentally conscious consumers. The latest involves the scraps from the dough and even making sure that the fryer used is eco-friendly, further ensuring that this treat has reduced its carbon footprint. In some cases, as the number of consumers who are aware of the effect of their behavior on the environment has been increasing, the tendency is surely leaning towards doing business with companies that practice sustainability. Now, as we conclude our journey into the delightful world of how donuts are made, we've uncovered the secrets behind crafting these beloved treats. We hope you enjoyed the process of how donuts are made. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore how some more interesting products are made. In the next video, you'll see